Well, welcome, young titans. Today is October 3rd. Can you believe the 10th month of the year is here? How fast this year has gone or how slow? Well, it depends on you, actually, how the life has shaped this whole year. But this platform, the Young Titans platform, is where young entrepreneurs join after their college graduation or when they are in the workforce to propel their career. Get inspired and become a part of a thriving community. Now, let me tell you, if you're not a part of it, you're missing out. And if you know someone who wants to be a part of it, make them a part of it because this is here for you. So what I would like to ask you is that share this live or the recording with your friends, with your family and others. And please like our page and subscribe to our channel because we are here for you. Please send us live questions on Facebook comments, and you can always email us at info@unextleadership.com. So what exactly is YTP, Young Titans Platform? Well, YTP fills in the gap from what you know and what you need to know for you to succeed. In short, fills the gap between you and the leadership. See, there are schools, colleges, and many departments to help start a career. Corporations, well, they have leadership trainings and many technical trainings for their workforce. But what is out there for the new graduates to excel? What is there to find the best career once you start getting into the workforce and where to go? There's nothing that exists right now to fill this gap. There are plenty of people who are right now indecisive for their career path, quite confused, specifically given the changes that are coming to the marketplace. Now, I'm Raj Kapoor. I'm the founder and CEO of Options Ahead. For over 30 years, I've worked as a chief financial officer and I'm an entrepreneur. I had always had businesses on the side. Now I'm teaching wealth mindset, running online courses. I'm an executive and a wealth mindset coach. I'm also a host on the international radio network called IBGR.network. And I speak about guidance to wealth, giving information to young titans for startups where you need this information. As I said, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an author, I have multiple businesses. I've had multiple businesses in many different industries. I'm also a DISC personality assessment certified trainer. My passion actually is to make a difference in others' lives, like most of you. Now, let me introduce you to some folks who can talk about themselves when we start. But I do need to give you some background for some of the wonderful people we have here. First is Sheikh Rahman. He is the orchestrator of the YTP platform. My good friend Sheikh is an engineer by background and is the founder of UNext Leadership for Training. He emphasized the values one needs to have. He liked to work with people and was slowly drawn to people who value people, where his leadership journey actually started. He wanted to learn how did they do that. His inspiration are a few people that include some people in his community, that is his grandmother, his daughter, sister, and his wife, from whom he learned a lot of leadership basics. He likes to hang out with like-minded people, and he likes to share or teach what he knows. One reason behind what he knows is that teachers learn the most. He will be a host along with other of few co-hosts in our panel. Next is my dear friend, Jan Roberts. Well, he's joining us from Scotland today. Jan spoke on YTP platform about international leadership a few weeks ago. Leaders are servers. Well, Jan is actually living proof of that. He helps corporation decision makers discover their major challenges and create substantial solutions. Having worked in global organizations with diverse teams for over 30 years, gives him a lot of insight and knowledge about major organizational challenges and many of its causes. Next is my dear friend Arti, joining us from South Africa. Here we have an international team. Isn't that wonderful? Well, Arti is a dynamic lady, speaker, was featured on our YTP week before last. She has over 20 years of experience as a successful entrepreneur and 2 international companies, Celebrating Humanity International as an international diversity and inclusion specialist, and Key Leadership Institute, specializing in exclusive values-based leadership training programs with a focus on creating huge impact in many countries. Recently, she was awarded Nation Builder Award. Congratulations, Aarti. That was wonderful. A couple of other people who always join us, but today they have not been able to join us. So I would definitely mention their names before we go to our prime speaker. Okay. One is Ron Cooper. Ron Cooper has been with us for quite some time. Both Ron and Marty are retired Air Force and CIA officers. They are in 52nd year of their marriage and are relationship coaches. Both Ron and Marty serve through their Cooper Culture organization. We have our great friend Kamrul Hassan from Bangladesh. He was just recently featured in a large circulation of a newspaper in Bangladesh and is the co-founder of CKH Network. He's also our partner and collaborator, empowering us with his IT team. And next is Dr. Halida Akhtar. Dr. Halida is a reproductive health doctor with over 30 years of national and international experience. She's a medical graduate and OB-GYN specialist. I can keep on going with Dr. Halida because she has so many of her experiences, but it's long, but just in short, she is the United Nations 2006 Population Award winner. She is our advisor and inspiring faculty and mentor for the Young Titans platform. And now, my dear friend, Alexia Ferrari, who is going to be our keynote speaker here. She's going to add value. The form would be where we are going to discuss things. And I'm telling you, today's show is going to be amazing. Let me just talk a little bit about Alexia. Alexia is the creator of Sexy Side of Life. Her company is dedicated to helping women around the world design their dream life and live it. She believes there are too many women out there that are living life on a human hamster wheel. Women tend to live life on a run, repeated schedule, leaving little time to acknowledge passion and dreams. When we factor in our fears and anxieties, we often give up the life we want to create. That's what she believes. The Sexy Side of Life specializes in career, business, and transformation coaching. See, what Alexia believes is that our mind and body training disciplines have helped her clients increase their bottom line, make successful job transitions, launch businesses, and transform personal and work life. I have known Alexia now for over 5 years, and I have seen her grow. I have seen her grow from the day we met. I still remember in Old Town Alexandria, and what an amazing growth it has been, Alexia. Really, really proud for what you have done.
Thank you so much.
And Sheikh, I would like you to take a few minutes and talk about Alexia, and then we can give over the platform to Alexia and we can start the program.
Thank you, Raj. Well, first of all, welcome to everybody who are here today at YTP. The definition and the slight meaning of that Raj already explained. And I'm definitely very excited because just today, as I was driving with my family, I was talking about that, my years as a young professional, as 20 years ago or so, when I was getting into the professional life, what are the challenges, what are the things, and I just wish that there was some kind of help like this, some kind of people like Arti, Alexia, Jan, Raj, these people who are in front of me, Dr. Halida, who is advising me and and she's the advisor for many other organizations and forming different non-profit all around the world, you know, and many others who are helping us today. And I have, and as far as women leadership goes, and I have two wonderful supreme women leadership people right in front of me now, Arti and Alexia. And definitely, just like Raj, you know, I have seen Alexia's growth as well. It's tremendous growth, and the heart she has, and the giving and helping others where needed. And that's what, you know, moved me also. And that's why I said, you know what, this Titans platform needs somebody who has done it, shown it, and showing it to others and helping others. And that's what she is. So I'm very excited. But Arti and Jan, if you guys have to have anything to introduce yourself, great. If not, we'll get started with Alexia. I think that's what we should do. Okay. All right. So I got the nod from both of them. So let us get started with Alexia's talk. Alexia, we are just, I think, I'm definitely excited. And I know people are going to be also. If I see any questions, anything, we'll come back and talk to you, but we'll start an informal discussion session here for our young generation to get that benefit. And
Beautiful.
let's not wait anymore. Alexia Ferrari.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. Thank you all. I'm truly humbled to be here, to be among servant leaders. And we touched on that as we opened here. And I truly believe when you are a servant leader, you can make impact that creates change around the world. You know, we're here today to help the young professional. And there really isn't anything right now that's helping to create a bridge to take the professional from graduating to that place where they can truly propel into a purpose-filled career. And at the end of the day, I truly believe that's what professionals need. They need to connect to their purpose. They need to connect their minds and their hearts to be able to give their best selves within their organization, to not only feel fulfilled, but to become an asset within their organization. So what I want to talk to you today is just that, how you can do that for yourself and for the organization you're either currently a part of or the organization you want to be a part of, for that job that you've just been dreaming about, but you just don't know how to make that leap. You're not quite sure how to make it happen. And for the entrepreneur that's out there in the audience right now, this conversation is for you too. We're going to be talking today about how to develop a professional and personal brand. And so I'm going to get into some details about why that's significant for not only the entrepreneur, but for the everyday working professional, the person that's getting up every single morning, who has kids at home and they have to rush around to get ready to go to work and take off, and they're putting in the hard hours and the grind to just kind of feel like they're doing the same cycle every day. We heard Raj mention about being on a hamster wheel, and I have to say a lot of us every single day are going through the motions. We feel like we can't quite catch up, right? And we're not getting ahead. So I hope that this conversation finds you well. I hope that you can take some key points away today so you can think about how you can develop your own personal brand so you can create leaps within your career. You can do meaningful work and really truly become an asset. That's what this is all about. I do thank you so much, Raj and Sheikh, for the beautiful introduction there. I'll give you a couple notes about my background to provide a little bit of depth so you can understand where I come from and where I kind of learned some of my expertise in addition to my schooling. I come to you with a background in education from communications, public relations, and advertising. As an undergraduate, that's what I studied at Towson University. So I love to learn about people and how to connect people together, how to get them communicating, understanding each other. And I've used that education to help my organization and other organizations that I've been a part of truly get them working together so they can be heard, they can use their best talents and gifts, and just make progress within their working groups. Over the past 10 years, I've been helping organizations, including my own, with strategic communications, yes, but also program management, and my favorite, human capital development. That's really just a fancy word of a way of saying, how do you develop the workforce? How do you get them to unlock their greatness, okay? Become their best professional self. So we develop the tools and the resources so they can do that. And what I think is so cool about what we're doing today is this is an incredible resource right here. YTP is a resource that you can use to up level in your career. So over the past 10 years, that's really where I've been spending my time. I'm super proud of the organization that I support. I work for a top-rated systems engineering and integration firm that supports the Department of Defense. I get to help Navy leaders with their leadership trainings. I get to create some of my own, but I also get to work with them in developing some thought leadership-based programming. So within the organization, they can use the talents and gifts that are already there to train their own workforce, which I think is a really beautiful thing, and I'm super proud of that. And then I get to work within my own organization to help to connect the workforce, up-level, create knowledge management type programs and things like that, so we can work on things like retention, recruitment, and do it in a very intentional and strategic way. So that's where I've been spending most of my time, but I have to say that I had a calling deep within inside of myself a few years back. In 2018, I felt that I just really needed to build something else, something that would help to reach an audience in a little bit of a deeper way. And I wanted to help women specifically. I felt that women were just kind of moving too fast. They weren't really acknowledging some of their talents and gifts and just weren't living the life that they really wanted to. So I wanted to build a community for women empowerment. So I launched The Sexy Side of Life, and that company is devoted to helping women to design their dream life and actually create steps, actionable steps to do it. It's great to dream, but dreams are only good if we can create a nice actionable plan to go with it. So I like to use mind and body disciplines to help to facilitate that, and then success habits to put those practices into place. So we do trainings, we do events. We hosted a really beautiful event that I'm super proud of in Baltimore, where we gathered women from all over the country. We came together, we brought in speakers, and we celebrated life. We talked about how we could be better, how we could acknowledge some of the dreams we had on our heart, and then walk away with a really good plan about how we were going to make impact and really show up for ourselves, which was just amazing. And so what I found in launching this company was that we were doing programs, and I was helping one-on-one clients, and we would do an exercise, which I like to call the life wheel exercise, where it's, you look at all the different areas of life, okay? We have our professional, our personal piece, but there's also a lot of other layers. There's family, there's social, there's relationship, there's hobbies and activities that we like to do. And so this comprises our life wheel. This is how we essentially spend our time. And what I like for my clients to do is to look at that integration wheel and to see where they're out of balance, like where are they out of alignment. And what I found every time, that a lot of the systemic just feelings of unrest and disalignment was coming from the professional purpose category. So they were disconnected from their professional purpose, what I like to call dharma or ikigai. And so because of that disconnect and not feeling fulfilled in that area, feeling out of alignment, it impacted all the other areas of the wheel. So they were showing up very stressed, very chaotic, feeling like they couldn't really accomplish any goal. There was stress in the home, stress at work, because they really weren't at a job that they really loved. You know, they weren't using their best talents and gifts. So what I ended up doing is creating, like changing the programming. So I would help the individual figure out, okay, you're not happy in the professional sense, so we're gonna fix this. We're gonna go in deep, we're gonna go through very strategically and find out what are your specific talents and gifts that you're not acknowledging right now, that truly like feel amazing when you get to utilize them. And you guys know what I mean. Like when you get to really be in your best self, like you are calling forth the talents that have been given to you from above, right? I hope that's okay to say, but you know, I truly believe in that. And so we go in there deep and we figure it out. And then we create a strategy so we can create the path for branding. Okay, so we're gonna create a path forward so we can remarket you, so you can land that dream job, okay? So a whole beautified cover letter and resume that speaks to those talents and gifts. So utilizing my strategic communication and PR ability, we put that on paper, and then we create a beautiful digital footprint that reflects that. And then we create what I call the job capture strategy. I spent a lot of time in business development for my company, and we're all about, you know, doing the lead capture, right, for the business, but you can totally do job capture. It's not about just throwing your resume up against a wall and seeing, okay, who's gonna choose me? No, choose yourself. And then see who can be a good fit for you. Where can you be of the best service? So I didn't realize it, but essentially what I was doing was developing a personal brand for these individuals. We were developing the personal brand that would help them to land the job, to get the promotion, to become the leader that they really wanted to be within their organization. And I've got to tell you, it just made me feel so fulfilled myself. And then I realized in that moment that I was walking in my true professional purpose. I was doing a lot of this already within my organization, supporting the Department of Defense, and it felt really good. But to watch an individual who feels lost, okay, overwhelmed in the home and not really walking their purpose, to figure it out, to feel confident about who they are professionally and go out there and land the work and do the work, something very special starts to happen, because they start to show up better in their personal lives. They start to get to do, you know, social activities that they like. It impacts everything when you are connected to that professional purpose. You wake up every single morning and you just feel like you want to leap out of bed, because you're excited for what you get to do every day. So that's really what I'm dedicated to doing at this point. The sexy side of life was a beautiful mechanism for me to discover that within myself. So we're in the process of formally developing the talent development firm that's going to go with that. But it's been exciting to be on this journey and to be able to help people in that capacity. I'm not sure if you guys have ever even really thought about a personal brand for the everyday, you know, individual doing the good grind every single day. But I don't know if you want to, before we jump into why I think it's important, do you guys have any?
Alexia, actually, excuse me, just a quick thing. I just want to
Yeah,
make sure
please.
that there are a bunch of people actually are watching, and there some of them are coming and going. But I just wanted to let everybody know who are watching it live that this is a very informal setting. So the whole goal is to help people who are watching it and the young professionals. So, and as we talked about, Alexia has done some personal branding for herself and how she established herself and started something new, which she is, you know, also explaining. But wanted to make sure that you all understand this is informal, which means you can ask live questions, email us, or anything to Alexia or any of the people here. We'd really appreciate that. But please, yes, please go ahead. And
No,
I
we
do
want
have
it to
questions
be
myself
an
too, which
active,
we're going to do.
yeah, we want it to be an active dialogue. So amongst the leaders that are here on the platform, but if you're on Facebook right now and this is you and you're feeling stuck, you're feeling overwhelmed, you know you have more to give, like ask a question here, like how are you going to get started? If you want to know what to do, the first steps, like drop it in. We'll answer questions. If you don't get to it right away, we'll make sure we go back and we connect with you personally so you are feeling supported. Again, this platform is to help you. It's to offer a bridge between where you are and where you are going. So definitely make sure you drop your questions and we will answer them for sure. So essentially, most individuals who are going to work every day, they don't even think about this concept. It's a new concept for most people when I bring it up to them. They know they're not happy, but they're not sure what to do about it. And they typically think that branding, and I think most of us do, that branding is reserved only for big companies that are creating a product or, you know, a service, not like a working professional that has a specific job, that's a part of an organization. And I'm here to tell you, yes, you do. Every person on this platform right now and everybody who's watching in this audience live, you have a personal brand already. Now, the thing is, it might not be the personal brand that you want, but people know you for something. And that's the first piece of the personal branding. what are you known for? How do people perceive how you can be of service, right? We talked about servant-based leadership, and that's what it's about. How you can be a part of the greater good or the mission-based work, how you can utilize and leverage your talents and gifts to be an asset. Not about just what fulfills you, but it's what fulfills you and also how you can serve. So when you start from that place, that's where you're able to make the most impact, and how you're able to just be a positive innovator for change and for creation, and really help to provide solutions for big challenges that are happening that make impact for people. That's how you're able to bring forth your best self. So I think that's really where you need to start. But I think for most, they're not thinking about a personal brand. They're kind of just showing up, seeing what opportunities come, and just kind of going through the motions, because that's kind of what we've been taught to do. But what I want to say is that you are the captain, okay? You are steering the ship. You are in charge of the trajectory of where you are going. You're here to capture those opportunities. You're here to make it happen. You're here to facilitate how you want to be perceived, how you can serve, and truly what opportunities you want for you within your career. So I think that, do you guys have any questions before we kind of get into some, I wanted to talk about some details of some good takeaways that people can utilize in developing their personal brand. But I definitely wanted to open up the floor to anybody on the platform right now. I mean, is this a concept you're familiar with? Have you seen it within your organizations? Or even as an entrepreneur, I think it's probably more equated with, you know, an entrepreneur spirit. But what are your thoughts before we dive in?
I mean, I can go ahead and start with one question. First of all, to me or many others I know, for branding, it automatically means it's a company, it's an organization, it's a logo, it's a big group of people, that kind of thing. But personal branding, which I came to know a little later, so that's not the complete definition of it. So what is actually that, and how a person who just got started in corporate world or something, what would they do, or how would they take advantage and bring on their own branding? What does that mean for them who just getting started?
Absolutely. So I have what I like to call a branding cocktail. So part of my brand is to infuse a little bit of fun into my teachings and trainings, and I want people to get excited like when they're doing this process. So we're going to call it a brand cocktail, and that's what we're going to go through today. Some of the ingredients that we want to put into that cocktail so it's super fabulous. One of my mentors always told me that the best ideas you can possibly have come out to play, not to work. Her name's Danelle Delgado. She said that, and I truly believe that is true. When we come from a place of play, like that's when we can get creative within ourselves to design this branding process. So I want the people that are listening today, I want you to tap into your playful side of yourself. And so maybe before we even start, and this is how I usually start most of my trainings, and it's pretty funny to see grown men and women doing this, but I love it so much. So if you're home, I want you to stand up, get up out of your seat, and I want you to just move around. Like I want you to jump up and down for at least 10 seconds. You know, maybe I can even, hold on, I can probably help us out here. Well, we're gonna play music for 10 seconds here, okay? And I want you to just get up, move your arms, move your bodies. Okay, I'm gonna move my arms. All right, you got some Michael Jackson. So I just want everybody to like move it, okay? Like shake it out. 10 seconds here. Woo! All right, shake. All right. Come on, Jan. Artie, I love it. Raj. All right, couple more seconds. Check it out. Check out all your ickies. All right. All right, thank you for doing that. Okay, I start all of my trainings that way for a reason, okay? Before we get into details, before you get into the learning piece of any program, you gotta put your mind in the right space. You gotta get your body aligned too. So when we move our bodies, we create energy inside of ourselves, right? And it releases endorphins, feel good energy. And endorphins help us to be in our most playful states, right? Our most creative states. And when we're building something, and that's what we're doing here today, we're building a brand. You have to come from that creative side of yourself. So I hope you're feeling a little better. If anything, maybe you were just kind of slumped in your chair and not feeling good. So maybe you're feeling more motivated. And I hope that that's what that did for you. And thank you guys for doing that impromptu exercise there. I was listening to Pandora before I got on, so I just had it recalled on my phone. So I'm glad that that worked. That's so funny. Okay, so to Sheikh's point, how can you get started? We're gonna begin with ingredient number 1, and this is your X factor, okay? This is defining your X factor. We all know the show X Factor, and what is that essentially? It's what the heck makes you unique? Like, what makes you different than any other professional? And you might be thinking to yourself, goodness gracious, like, I don't know what makes me unique. I just go to work, I just do the job. But I want you to know that every single human, every single professional has unique talents and gifts that they've been given. So I want you to think about how you help people currently, okay? What do you do every single day that provides value to another person? It might be what you're doing for your profession, but more so than not, if you're here listening to this training and the title of this training piqued your interest, you're probably not doing the type of work that you should be doing where you can really channel your greatness. So I want you to list, what are all the things that make you special? How you help people? Write it all down. Put it on a piece of paper, notepad, okay, write it down. And then I want you to ask yourself a question. With everything you wrote down about X Factor, is that truly what you want to be known for in your current place of employment or where you want to be working? Do you want to be known for these things? Is there misalignment happening? And if you're finding that you're not exactly where you want to be, and your X factor is not necessarily being brought to the forefront, it's kind of a wake-up call to say, hey, like, we need to make some changes. So I want you to circle the thing that you really want to be known for the most, okay? Take a moment to do that. And I want you to know that the more specific you get with your X factor, the more specific you get with how you can serve your organization with your expertise or your talent or your gift, the more successful you're going to be. And here's why. When you niche down and you get super specific about how you can help, then people know why they need to come to you. They know how you can help them. And when you do that, you kind of ignite this wonderful word of mouth that happens. People are talking about how you've helped them. People know that you're going to be there for them to solve that one specific thing. And so when you become known for something, you build something very important. You build credibility over time. And the thing about credibility is that it also builds trust, and people do business with people that they know and people that they trust. So by defining your X factor and becoming very niche on how you can serve, you start to build a very powerful professional network that people are not only you're talking about you, other professionals are talking about you, and there's a great aura of a buzz around who you are and how you are known. So the first step is to define that X factor and to figure out how you want to be known. And now we're going to take that one thing, and everything we build from here on out is going to support that one X factor. So the second ingredient that is one of my favorites, and I truly think it's probably one of the most important things here, is energetic currency. And you're probably thinking, well, what is that? Like, energetic currency, how does that really apply here? Well, energetic currency is essentially how you show up emotionally on the job, okay? How do people within the organization currently respond to how you act? And so how you're showing up and in your feeling and in your emotion creates an impact with other people. I want to share an example with you. So if you are in a wonderful mood and you've been driving to work, drinking a great cup of coffee, listening to a good podcast, like, you're in a high vibe state, right? everyone knows what I mean by high vibe. I think we kind of use that a lot these days. But you're buzzing high, you're feeling good. And you get to work, okay? And you bump into the quintessential grumpy employee, okay? Their energetic currency is like low. It's like really low. And they're mumbling about something as they're putting their lunch away in the fridge, and they're just grumpy. And they bump into you, and you have a really great opportunity here to let their negative vibration impact you, or you can use your energetic currency as part of your brand and how you want to make other people feel, and you can be a lifter. And so you can bring a little bit of positivity to that person's day just by how you show up emotionally in the workforce. You could meet him where he is and say something nasty back or ignore him, or you can ask him, hey, how are you doing today? Hey, what do you have for lunch? Maybe just offer a smile, right? And so by doing that, you create an elevation point within the organization. And if you think about it, if every single person just thought about how they could make someone else feel better, or thinking about how they can make someone else feel more positive just by bringing a certain emotional state to the office, think about the ripple effect that would make over time. People would be lifting people all the time. So when people get upset by work that maybe there was a mistake they made and they're just feeling down, they run into somebody in the hall who's feeling good and they feel like it's their job as part of their brand to be a lifter, they're gonna make them feel better. And then something very special happens. When we're all kind of lifted and vibrating at that state, we tap into that creative side of ourselves. Like, we're able to come up with better ideas. Why? Because we feel better. When we feel better, we do better. So if you can create that within yourself, you're creating impact throughout the whole organization. Now, I'm here to tell you that not everybody has the same energy, and they should not. My energy should not be the same as Sheikh's or Raj's or Arthi or Jen. Like, it should not be the same. Somebody might be a little bit more reserved about their energy, but I'll tell you something, they know they want you to feel good within their presence. So maybe they just want you to feel heard. So maybe they're a beautiful, active listener, and they let you finish your whole spiel and story. And at the end, they say, oh, I hear you. And they offer something very insightful back. And so, wow, you're like actually listening to people. That could be part of your energetic currency. You don't have to be jumping off the walls. Like, I know that I tend to bring a high energy because that's just part of who I am. Like, I like people to feel excited. Like, when we're done talking, I hope you're feeling more excited about whatever the heck it is that you're doing or working on. I want people to feel like energetic. But there's beauty in everybody's different energies. And the cool thing about energy is that there's a science to it, right? Like, it's not just us talking some woo-woo stuff here about how you can feel better. I mean, there's truly a vibrational currency that's carried with every single living thing, every single object, from a cup to, my pretty little crystal rock here to whatever. And so if we can think about us, carrying a vibration, we have to remember that there's different energies. So if you're in a high vibrational state, high vibe, people say it all the time, that is the emotion of love, excitement, okay? The low vibrational energy is fear, anxiety, anger, depression, like those types of things. So we have to be very emotionally intelligent about how we are harnessing our energetic currency in the workforce. And I'm gonna bring this full circle back to branding. So you wrote down your X factor, what you wanna be known for, okay? Your unique talent and gift that you really wanna share within the organization, and maybe you're not quite doing that right now. I want you to think about how you want other people to feel in your presence. How do you want other people to feel when they are around you every single day? Okay, write that down. That's your second brand ingredient. And the thing about energy too, it changes, it evolves, it's fluid. So it's hard sometimes to show up in a high vibe state when there's a lot of chaos around us, when we got a bad, maybe we had a bad meeting, or we got some bad news. The thing is that when you are in charge and you're leading your energetic state, you are also the one that can navigate and change it. So just like you got up and you danced a little bit and you moved your body, you felt a little bit better after you did that. there's a reason why I wanted you to do that. I wanted you to know that you are in control of your energetic state. So if you're feeling not the best and you know you're going to show up out of alignment with your energetic currency in terms of your brand, I want you to take a moment, okay? Just take a beat. Like go into an office. I want you to walk outside for a moment, pop in your earbuds, like shake it up, move your body, do something that's going to fuel you so you're feeling better energetically and you can show up as your best self. The one thing which is so interesting, studies have shown that when it comes time to getting promoted, or it comes time to winning a client, that client or that employer, they are more inclined to work with you based upon how you make them feel or whether or not they like you, like just like you. Nothing related to your technical competency. Your technical competency, maybe it's good, but it's not the best, but they love you. Like they just really enjoy being around you because of how you make them feel. You are more inclined to get the promotion. You are more inclined to get the business. Guys, like that is so powerful, okay? Like take that to heart and know that how you make people feel is going to impact the trajectory of your career and how you show up and the opportunities that are going to come your way. So it is important that we truly honor our emotional intelligence, that we honor the energy that we're bringing to the workspace every day. And it's important that it becomes part of our brand every day. So the next ingredient that I think is truly essential, this is the part where we can actually make the difference. This is the part where we're starting to see movement, okay? We have these really good pillars to start with, but really where you start to see people be affected by you and what you can do, how you can serve, is through your influence, okay? When you are influential, you're able to create movement for yourself and within your career. But developing influence takes a powerful personal brand. People do business. I'll say this again. People do business with people they know and people they trust. And when you are trusted and when you have credibility, that's when you're able to create that influence. Influence is developed through consistency. So we have to think about what we're doing every single day to provide value as part of our brand. So we know the service that we're providing. How can we be consistent with that? Like, and we have to protect that. Like, we have to think every morning when we get up, okay, how am I going to serve today? Like, what am I going to do to provide value based upon what my brand represents within my organization? Okay. And when we lead from that space, not only are we more productive, but consistently over time, people are seeing the quality and value of our work. And they know that we're someone that they can trust. They know that we are somebody that they're going to go to consistently over time to answer their problems and to be someone that can help with whatever area of expertise they are an expert at, right? The next piece of developing influence is through that relationship piece. So people, they feel comfortable when they know you. So we need to take time. We need to take time to engage in probably what some professionals would think to be just wasted time. Water cooler talk is so valuable. I'll tell you, most business gets done in the hallway. Most business gets done over dinner, over drinks or something. It's a social component. We are social beings. So we need to know how to leverage our social capability to provide influence. And it comes with bringing this good energy, right? Becoming someone that's liked. And you become someone that's liked by developing a relationship, a genuine relationship. So taking the time to learn somebody's name, how to pronounce their name, learning what they're good at, maybe what is their brand, and understanding how they can help, knowing just what they're into. I was talking to somebody the other day in my organization, and I had some serious IT challenges, okay? Like my computer was messed up. And this guy was gonna have to devote like half a day to fixing my computer so I could get work done. And I had to take time to I wanted to take time to just know this person. I was going to be probably staring at them half the day because they're on my computer doing stuff and we're talking. So I got to know them a little bit better. And what's awesome now is when I have a tech problem, now I can go to him and we know each other. Like, I know some of the things that he cares about. Not only as a professional, but just as a human being. At the end of the day, we're all humans. We all have challenges that we go through. And when we can offer that generosity within ourselves just through honest communication, and it's pretty powerful, the connection that is made, and then how you can be an influence with who you are later down the road. So I would really encourage you to think about the relationship piece of the influence. The next piece here of the influence is listen to your tribe. Okay, listen to your tribe. So who's your tribe? Your tribe can be a lot of different people. I know we kind of use that phrase pretty freely today, but maybe it's your teammates. Maybe it's your supervisors or leaders within your company. Maybe it's your clients. But the point here that's so golden when it comes to developing influence is understanding what their need is with how you can serve. And the thing to remember is the need is always evolving, okay? Because there's external things that are happening that shift the need. So I'm in defense work. I'm a defense contractor. There are always new threats that are coming about, and we always have to be thinking about how we can protect the American people. So if the threats are shifting, guess what else is shifting? How we can serve, how we can, modify, what we're doing. But the only way we can do that effectively is to be a really good active listener and listen to the feedback that we're getting from the people on the floor, from the people that are doing the good work every day. And then also, the tribe is going to tell you where you need to get better. They're going to tell you when things aren't going so well. And if you can actively do this and get better along the way, you never have to do this overhaul of yourself. You're never at a place where you're feeling like, wow, like I'm really not showing up well. Why? Because we tweak and we modify after each and every day. We have a reflection period for ourselves. At the end of the day, we think about all the conversations we've had, who we've impacted, what we learned from maybe a good encounter or a bad encounter, and then how we can tweak our brand to better serve. So it's all about that servant-based leadership. The next piece of influence that I think is a really big pillar to think about is political savvy, and how you are aligned with your organization from a cultural perspective. So your organization or your business, what if you're an entrepreneur listening in, there's specific mission and values of that organization or of your business that you live by, that you abide by. If the brand that you're creating does not align with that mission and those the vision and the values of the company, there's going to be a divergence, and you're not going to be able to show up as brilliantly as you need to for that organization. So the way we introduce political savvy is to not only understand what the mission, vision, and values are of that organization, but we need to align our brand to support that. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but it has to have the same essence. You have to buy into what you're being a part of, how you're contributing to the greater picture here. And then once we understand that, we can use our brand to connect to different people in different ways based upon what the culture is within the organization. That's the political savvy piece. How you can better serve, the products you can physically create as a brand within that organization to better the organization or better the team. But you have to know how the organization operates so you can navigate in a strategic way. So that's the political savvy piece to influence. And then lastly here, one more thing. I know I lump a lot into the influence piece, but guys, the influence, that's where the magic happens. When you can be an influencer, you can be a change agent within your organization, and you can really develop some incredible products and services to really advance where your organization is headed when you are influential, and some incredible opportunities for yourself. So you have to stay true to your authentic home base. So when we are creating this brand today, this is helping you to establish who you are, what you believe in, how you can serve. And so anytime you stray away from it and it's not feeling good, like you can look back and say, wait, is that the brand I developed? And am I going in a different direction? And if I'm going in a different direction and serving in a different way and acting in a different way, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Am I okay with how that's going to change the trajectory of my brands? So that's going to kind of keep you true, your true north, if you will. We hear that a lot. So that can help you. Okay. Do you guys have any questions before I move on to the next two pieces here?
Yeah, actually, one question came in.
I'm going to grab some water, excuse me, talking a lot.
One question came in, that's a personal branding.
Yeah.
Is that something to do with your vision?
Mhm.
And does it need to be aligned with your organization where you belong?
Great. That's a great question. It is different, but it has to have some of the same essence. So for example, and I like to say though, for my clients, we develop what I call a personal brand statement. So this is where we tap into it's kind of like your elevator speech, but we condense it to almost like a sentence. So you know what you stand for. But we also do the mission, the vision, the values for the professional, okay? So you should have a mission for yourself as a professional. You should have a vision. The vision is where you're going. So what's that end state? Like what's that pie in the sky job or that pie in the sky business that you're creating, right? So it can be different, but if you as a professional, if your mission, it doesn't fit into the mission of the organization that you want to be a part of, and maybe it's for an ethical reason, like maybe what the organization does, like you ethically cannot stand behind. I'm here to tell you that the value of your work it won't be substantial. You won't be able to unlock your greatness because you don't believe in what the organization does. So yes, there does have to be some alliance. There has to be some similarities that are happening there, so there could be a good buy-in. Now the vision is a little different, right? So the vision is where you're headed. There's where you are and how you serve, but where you're headed. And so that could be different. The vision you have for yourself as a professional, it might mean that you're with this organization in this capacity right now, but maybe you have a greater vision to serve in a deeper way within the organization. I have a vision for myself within my own organization, and it's very different from my own organization's vision. Like I know that I want to help in a deeper way, and everything I'm doing right now is supporting that vision. But it also, that vision will help my company's vision too. So it does have to be kind of embedded in there, but it's different. Does that help the question? Okay, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Okay, good.
I understand.
Good. And I know that like most people listening, they probably have never created a personal mission for themselves. I mean, it's just not something we typically do because we're not a business. We're not selling something. So why would we do that? But I'll tell you, like when you do that, you get incredibly clear on who you are, how you can serve and where you're headed. And that way, like when you step into an organization, like say you're interviewing for an organization. And one of the things I do for my clients is, we go in and we build the brand and we prepare them with all of the qualities and how they can align with the organization. But we do a whole interview preparation where we take all the different examples of things they've done throughout their career. So they are ready to fire off. Like when the employer asks them, well, what's a time when you did X, Y, and Z? They know. They're not sitting there on the spot asking, like they've prepared to meet that opportunity. So it's the same thing with you, like as a brand, like you're preparing what your mission is. You're preparing your values so you know where you're headed. An admiral that I worked very closely with said that if you're not clear on where you're going, you're just going for a walk by yourself. Like you're not really doing anything of value. He said it in a little bit of a better way, but it was something to that effect. And it's true, like we can't aimlessly wander. And that's what we're doing when we don't write this stuff down as professionals. We need to chart out where we're headed in our career. I like to do a career roadmap, and this is where we are. This is how we're currently serving, but this is kind of where I want to be. So the brand has to evolve over time to meet that roadmap and to meet that vision. So I think this kind of actually offers a really good segue into the next ingredient, which is adaptability. Adaptability in your brand. So you cannot stay the same. So you can document the mission, the vision, the values of who you are today, right now. And where the essence of this is not going to change per se, you are going to evolve and you need to. So I want you guys to think about like the most some of the most successful companies that have provided impact over the years, some that were booming at one time, but now they aren't around anymore. So Blockbuster is a really great example. So Blockbuster, I mean, does everybody remember going to Blockbuster, waiting in the huge line and being so upset when they didn't have the movie on the shelf, that like the 20 movies that they had like there for the brand new release, and you would like hurry up and get there on a Friday night so you could watch it at home with your family or whatever. I mean, Blockbuster was amazing, but it is no more. And it is no more because they didn't have the vision aligned for themselves. And the same thing is true for a good brand, a good professional brand. You will become extinct. You will become extinct as a professional if you do not evolve and not adapt to your environment. I talked about environments changing. You need to be on the lookout to know what is happening around me so I can provide the best service. Do I need to up-level my skill in some way? Do I need to get additional education? Do I need to create a product or something that can be of value because there's this new challenge that's happening in the wings? So we can't lead our brand with blinders. We can't just go to work and do the same job every single day. We got to have our antennas up. That was like ears, but we have to have our antennas up. And we have to be aware of what's happening in the external environment so we can meet the demand, and we have to adapt and evolve. We have to know what challenges our organization is facing. So something I frequently do is I look at our company's strategic plan all the time. And I use that as the benchmark for myself and how I can serve. Where's the company headed? What do they care about? And then I know how I can use my talents and gifts and my vision and my mission to better serve them. And it's the same thing with a client, right? Like, go in there, like do some research on your client, figure out what they need and how you can be of service and value with your branding. So it's really a marriage, it's a match. We don't think about creating a partnership with our organization or a true partnership with our clients, but that is where you're able to make the most impact, I think. So in order to not go extinct as a brand, we need to make sure that we're always on the lookout, and we need to think of new, fresh ways to communicate as well. Things right now have changed a ton. So we think of COVID and what it's done for organizations. And I can tell you my entire company has taken things online. I do leadership development programming for the Department of Defense. And we used to gather in person every month for these big trainings. We would pack a big management center. We cannot do that today. We can't do that safely today. So what did I do? I had to get strategic. I help leaders to develop training. I develop my own trainings, and I help to create resources so the organization can up level. So what are we going to do now? I had to take it online, and they'd never done that before in this organization. So we created safe, secure webinars because it's for the government that they could go and receive this training on. We recorded things. We changed the way we did business to meet the demand and adapt. Okay, that's the key word: adapt to the environment. And so that's just kind of what you need to be doing as an organization, and as a professional brand. The last thing that's super important is you have to feed your creative soul. When we're not excited about what we're doing anymore, we become super stale, and people can see it. Okay, people can smell a mile away when you don't like what you do. We've all gone to an establishment and we've seen the person behind the counter, and gosh, they just look freaking miserable. They just look miserable. I was just somewhere the other day and I was like, gosh, I feel so bad for you. I know you're not happy. Can I help you? Like, here's my card. And so we have to be asking ourselves actively, like, do I like what I'm doing? Is this making me feel creative? Or is there something else that I want to tap into? And guys, that happens all the time. I mean, even just myself, I launched The Sexy Side of Life, and that's a beautiful women empowerment space. But I saw there was another need. I saw that people needed this branding. So now we're doing this talent development firm, which I'm calling Ferrari Factor. But I had to listen to my audience, get feedback. I had to feed my creative soul so we could create something new. And you are the same way as a business or a professional. Okay, and so I know that we're probably coming up on time here. We're going to do question answer. I'm sorry, I've been talking so much. The last piece here is purpose. Your purpose is the last ingredient to your brand cocktail. You need to always know how what you are contributing, how it feeds into the greater good, to the greater impact in our world, in our society, or is just affecting and impacting other people. Because as a brand, it is not about you. It is bigger than you. That is the crux of the servant-based leadership. You are just a vessel to deliver the goods. So one thing that I do every day, at the end of each day, I think, okay, like, what conversations did I have? What meetings did I have that contributed to the greater good, that contributed to my mission as a professional, contributed to my organization's mission? You know, our mission is to provide to provide solutions to our nation's most challenging goals. Did I do that today? And I would encourage you, if you're already in a job or an industry that you love and an organization that you love, but you just want to, you know, maybe serve in a different way, I want you to ask yourself at the end of the day, did I do that? Did I serve at the mission? What conversations did I have? What work did I produce? What meetings did I lead or did I take part in? Did I just sit in the meeting or was I in the meeting? Like, did I come to the table? We always talk about having a seat at the table. You guys, you're not invited to the table. You show up to the damn table. That's what happens. And so when we are actively thinking about that bigger mission, we kind of eradicate our fear, because there's always a lot of fear in showing up. We get scared of how people are going to view us. We get scared about, you know, what we're saying, if it has value or holds weight, but we have to do it. And when we do it and we make it bigger than us, it kind of helps to take away that fear. At least for me, it does, when I make it not about myself. So those are the five ingredients. There's so much more I could share with you guys, but maybe I'll invite people to do a longer training if that's something people are aching for and needing. We'll definitely be developing more of this stuff on the Ferrari Factor coming up soon here. But those are the 5 ingredients that I feel to be the pillars of developing a personal brand. And one thing I'd like for you to note is that none of this had anything to do with like what we would consider to be traditional advertising or traditional marketing. And I want you to know there is a component to that with a personal brand. You know, one thing I do with my clients is we get the foundation right. We know how we can create the impact within ourselves first and within the people that we interact with every single day. And then we take it a step further to do the job capture, and we take it online. So I talk to them about how they can take that brand and then make a bigger splash online through LinkedIn. You know, is your profile matching what you can actually do and serve? Are you creating content yourself that talks about how you can serve? So there's ways to make yourself known in and above just what I've talked about today. But if you don't have these 5 ingredients right, and you're not showing up in this way, it's really hard to authentically do the other actual traditional advertising piece.
Okay, that was stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Thank you, Artie. Thank you.
Because that so resonates with everything that people need to actually evolve right now. And the simplicity of it is that this information is so readily available.
Right.
But a lot of people don't understand how to contextualize it.
Right.
Or put it into their reality. So when you look at the young professionals right now, you know, a lot of the things that you spoke into is brilliant and it's exciting. What I also realize is there's a balance needed, and you will know this from the difference between the organization you're working with, where people have already got a different type of maturity, access to information and training, compared to the sexy side of life where you're working with women empowerment, and there's a different way of thinking. So there's a need for an upliftment of not just self-confidence, self-esteem, skills, tools, techniques, right? Yeah. So I can see where this all blends in. So when we're looking at the young professionals now, they would be in between. Right. So they're now coming in at a platform where they're young and they're excited. They've got the energy, but they've got no clue how to focus it. Right. They don't have an idea of how to take the next step into the business environment and build their value system into the corporate culture or value system. So the question that actually, one of the things that came to mind that I think that you could actually lend some insight to was how would you help somebody balance the wants and needs of the people around them? Because young professionals and their circumstances have got people that are talking to them, the pressure that they feel, compared and balancing that with their personal dreams and their desires. So how would you help them to develop that balance?
Well, so you bring up a really important point, Arti. As young people, especially as being a young person, we have a lot of voices in our head. And these voices in our head are people that we would consider to be that have our best interest at heart, like our parents, like our friends, okay? These are the voices I'm talking about. And while these voices are always coming from a genuine place, it doesn't necessarily mean that these voices are the best thing for our future and for what we need to be doing. I mean, we've always heard of the singer, and I can relate to this just because, you know, music is something that's actually part of my brand, and I've made it kind of part of my professional brand, interestingly enough. But I've sung for years, and I actually, you know, went to Nashville. I wanted to do the whole thing at one point. And, you know, when you are an artist, you always have like the quintessential parent that's like, oh, you need to be going to school and stop playing your instruments and singing, you know, you're not going to make any money at that rate. And so you're torn between like the passion of where you want to be and then all those voices that are in our head. And so what I would say to the young professional, it's okay for there to be voices. There's always going to be lots of noise. But you do need to go internal a little bit. You need to take some time for you. So I would encourage you to, if you're experiencing that, there's a lot of people kind of telling you to do different things. Oh, do this course. You should go with this organization. This industry is really good. You need to go internal first. You need to create a really nice protected bubble around yourself. Spend some time every evening to stimulate your creative side of yourself. And you need to protect what information is going in here and what's coming to here. So you need to listen to some things that'll will tap into your professional excitement zone. So if you can listen to some personal development, okay, any book for like 20 minutes a day. I Audible is what I do. I'm a mom. I work hard. Like I don't have time to really sit with a book, but I can listen as I'm going to and fro. But what that's doing for me is it's helping to stimulate my mind and give me new, fresh ideas about, oh man, that's an interesting concept. Like I could see myself doing that. I could do that. You know, I like that. That's exciting to me. And it's so important that we listen to ourselves, because if we don't, all those other voices are about, and we take a direction because someone said it would be good monetarily for us, but it's not going to be good monetarily for you if you're not truly connected to it. So we have to go inward. We have to hear some inspiring voices that are maybe not truly right within our circle, that can offer some inspiration for us, but we have to control what we're intaking in terms of information and what we're allowing into that sphere. I mean, it's called the sphere of influence, right? For a reason. It influences us. So the people that we're listening to impact our trajectory based upon their influence. And if they're people that have credibility with us, like our parents, it's hard to say no. It's really tough to say no. So you do have to be protective of that. And I have to say, like, a good coach is going to really help you. So find someone that you know and trust as a career coach, and have them tap into uncovering maybe where you can best use your talents and gifts to serve in a specific industry, to serve in a specific way. I recall like a client that I'm actually working with right now, and oh gosh, like it was so cool to watch her go through that process of, gosh, I'm working here, I'm not liking it, this is totally not where I need to be, I am meant for more. And by the end of the coaching, like she realized, hey, like I'm exceptionally wonderful at this thing. And I said to her, hey, you know, that skill set would be really good with this certification. You pair those two things together and you have magic. And, you know, I didn't even say anything else. She went home, researched the whole thing, and now she's enrolled in the course. Before we're even done our sessions together, she's going to have this certification, and she's just feeling so much better. So you have to inspire yourself. You have to entrust with a professional maybe that you feel can help you. And there's good coaches for everybody. There's not one coach Like somebody else's coach is not necessarily good for you. Like you have to find the one that's good for you, a good match. But yeah, be protective, inspire yourself, control the thoughts that are coming into your mind because they will dictate your actions and the success that you have. I hope that helped to answer a little bit.
Well, I'll share something. Alexia, that was amazing.
Thank you.
And this is really what is needed to help the young titans at this level, because they're entering the workforce. And the notes I took from here, because I'm out of the workforce, I'm doing my own business, but
Right.
everything is still really helpful. Because one of the things that comes in mind is the personal brand.
Yeah.
Many people don't understand the meaning of personal branding, which you made it very clear today in very simple words. And I believe every single person needs to build their personal brand.
Yes, me too.
It's not just big companies. And you are talking about a concept which is out of the box thinking concept, because most of the people are following the herd. That means this is the specific way to get a job.
Right.
You put your resume out and then wait for it, go for the interviews. But instead, what you are focusing on is you create your brand. Let people come to you. You make yourself so valuable out there that people want you.
That's right.
And make everything the opposite of what it is. And once you do that, your career will have the successes in every way. This is both true for the job and for entrepreneurs.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, it's true for both, not just job seekers.
That's very true. Very true.
Yeah,
So
and so really great synergy, really great connection, really great message. And I would just say to all the listeners here that go back and listen to this again. This is so valuable because this is not going to help you now. This is going to help you build a future. And if you have the right foundation, which Alexia just put down for you, and you're getting it for free, okay, get it me. She can charge you a good chunk of money for it, but she has given you so much golden nuggets for free. Go back and take a look at it and build it. So thank you again. I really loved it.
Oh, I'm so glad, guys. This is such an honor to be just among such brilliant minds, and I think from leaders all over the world. And you all have just accomplished so much in your careers, and to be alongside and sharing this information, just it means the world to me. So thank you so much. It's truly an honor.
Yeah, well, again, absolutely amazing. It has been said already, and I think that if you're listening, whether you listen live or you listen to the recording, like and share this, because as a leader you need to share it, because you can't just keep that information to yourself. There is so much good information here, and there's so many things. I took lots of notes as well, because at any age you can take notes and learn. The minute the day we stop learning is the day we start dying. So with young people, especially when the young titans, they're so engaged in social media and all the different media platforms. In your branding, now you can't you can delete what you've done in the past, but I mean, employers now, they look a lot more at what's going on in your social media as well. So looking at that, what some people have written in the past and how they want to brand themselves, is there one piece of advice and maybe even one social media platform that you really advise for them to actually clean up their act and also start branding themselves in?
100%. I mean, so first of all, I want to say that social media, it's so critical for your personal brand. Every platform has a different purpose, just like you have a different purpose as a brand. They're a brand too. So you have to be mindful of what the intention is for each and every individual platform. For a professional, I think it's beautiful to start with the LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is coming back in a really unique way. They're starting to do some things to help with algorithm and in terms of being able to go live. So it's becoming a more valuable platform for professionals. Right now, I mean, it's always been great, but they're doing some new things, which is good. So I think you need to start there, because I think professionals or program managers, they're looking at that. They want to see how you articulated yourself. What are you saying you're good at? And they want to look at your network too. Network is very important. So I think starting with LinkedIn is really great. What I will say, and because you touched on, we have a history to our brand. We all have brands, whether or not we want to believe that or not. People know things about us and how we help people and how we, like, you know friends, you go, oh gosh, that friend, they're not so nice. That's part of their brand, right? And that shows up in all different layers of our social media, what we believe in, what books we like, what movies we enjoy. I mean, it's all there, okay? Our whole lives are online. So yes, you can clean it up if you want. I think it'd be important if there's things that are recent that's really not aligning with who I want to be, then go ahead, clean it up. But what I will say is you could also take that approach, and what I've tried to do myself is to use the honest experience of my life as a teaching mechanism. So anything I go through that's challenging, I live it online. And the most recent example I could give you would be my pregnancy. I had a really rough postpartum space. Postpartum was just very much so hard for me, and I came out about that and how I overcame it, and how I could maybe help other women get through that as well, to rise up. And most people don't like to share the challenges and some of the things that have been hard for them historically through their life. But if we can use that as a teaching moment, and even in our interview, being very honest, not giving them the same example that every other interviewee is given, but really giving them something that's personal, that makes sense, that if they went online, they could even see that. I think it's okay to do that. I think people are really feeling refreshed by the honesty and the transparency. What I would say though, is as you are using each platform intentionally, curate your message to make sense for the audience. So, I mean, I do personal branding also for businesses. So, we go through and we look at each platform and how they're showing up. And you have to remember there's an entertainment value to social media. So you have to edutain. I had a mentor, Danelle Delgado, would always say this phrase, but you have to edutain people. So provide the educational factor with the entertainment piece. So if you go to my Instagram, which is where I communicate with my audience the most, you're gonna get a little fun, you're gonna get some dancing, you're gonna get some singing, and you're gonna get some education as well on how you can brand yourself and how you can become a professional that's an asset. The same thing for anybody who's developing a personal brand. What do you want people to see? Let's pick a couple things that if they came to your page, what they can expect. Just like you're building influence inside of the organization, you have to build influence online the same way. So you have to be consistent with your posting. You need to post probably every day. You need to have a couple different things that people can expect to see from you. If you come to my site, you're gonna see mom life. You're gonna see realness. Okay. You're gonna see strategies for how you can up-level your mind and your body, and then you're gonna see some details on professional branding. It's all there. But you get all the layers, and people know what to expect when they come there. And you have to do that in all the different platforms. And while some might seem like they're maybe going extinct or not being used, you should still show up there. It's important.
All right. Yeah. Wow. Wonderful. I mean, Alexia, and this is just wonderful, and everybody, I think you have got something, and I know in the interest of time we're actually a few minutes over, so we're gonna end here. Just a quick thing from me is that my understanding, just a few seconds thing, is that you are very authentic, Alexia. I see that, and I think that's what this is about. That's what authenticity is. That's what personal branding is, which is, in my mind, it's kind of antithetical to our traditional thought process. And sometimes we say, oh, don't do it, and stuff like that. No, I think this message here is no, do it. I mean, if you're that, then do it. So that's what you are, that's how you establish your personal branding. And my wife keeps telling, if you're saying something, letting people know something, then do it. No, abide by your words. I think that's definitely, I believe that. And together we can help each other in doing so, and making people understand that also it is important. So that's why personal branding is not just branding, it's you yourself showing others who you are, so you can bond more. But anyway, with that,
people are attracted to your authenticity. People are attracted to what is real. People can, know a mile away when you're not genuine. So it's better to show up as just yourself, even if it's maybe you think it's a little weird. I promise your weirdness is probably your best asset. It's probably the one thing that makes you so uniquely you, and people will get behind that because it's you. It's you, and they can feel it's you. They can feel that energetically. It doesn't lie. It never can.
Wow, that's well said. Your weirdness is actually you. That what makes you different or valuable, right? So yes, absolutely. Somewhere I think just recently my wife was just telling me, show your scar. If you have a scar, that's who you are. Show that.
Right. That's great.
That's definitely.
What is it? The wound is where the light enters. Is that from? Yeah. Okay. Did Oprah quote that? I can't remember, but I think it's from. Yeah. So I completely agree with you, Sheikh.
Yeah, so, but anyway, we're going to end here just to let everybody know. Next week, we have Dr. Gloria Burgess coming from Seattle. She is the professor, or she was the teacher in Boeing, the corporation Boeing as well. So it's an honor to have her here in this platform to let others know. Well, I see Dr. Halida plugging in. We're just ending actually. She's our advisor, by the way, Alexia, just to let you know, for you and others to know. She is helping to build this platform. So, but anyway, Dr. Halida, we are actually ending.
I just wanted to say, Alexia, sorry I missed your program, but I have requested for the audio, so that I can listen to your lecture.
Oh, thank you so much. I've heard so many
another show that just ended in Bangladesh on health systems.
Oh, thank you so much.
So I look forward to. Sorry to miss your lecture, but
no apology needed.
No, next time.
But anyway, so we're gonna have this with different speakers coming in. The week after that, also we have a great speaker from Ireland and a friend of few of us. So definitely excited. But thank you so much for being here, and thank you, Alexia.
Thank you, guys. Such an honor. Happy Saturday, guys. Have a great one.
Thank you. Thanks to all. Thank you. Okay.